When he took my name and I just stood there, I know it has become quite an iconic expression whenever that video gets played, that I don't know what I felt numb. I couldn't hear. I felt like everything was going in slow motion. I don't see people fearing Bigg Boss anymore. एक वो डर, एक वो प्यार, एक वो adulation, एक वो oh my god बिग बॉस ने ये बोला है तो मतलब वो पत्थर की लकीर है. वो एक चीज I find it missing amongst the rest of the season. He's a superstar in every right. He also knows कि I am not doing. Otherwise, there have been so many seasons where उन्होंने लोगों को पलट के सुना दिया है या फिर कई बार तो घर से भी बाहर कर दिया है. But I think he knows कि I respect him a lot. Tanisha was a very headstrong girl and I give it to her for that. She was great competition. Of course, she didn't like me much on the show, which was very evident. But outside, I think we've always exchanged hi, hello, and you know.
Welcome Gauahar, welcome to Pink Villa. This is for our special segment which is called Bigg Boss Flashback, and we are going to start with you because obviously who better than you, that you had been one of the fair sanchalaks in the Bigg Boss house. And not just that, I just believe that you have been one of the best contestants that this show has seen, you know. So undoubtedly you had to be the one opening this segment for us. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you.
Before we get started about everything else, I want to know, Bigg Boss 7, you won Bigg Boss 7, you know, and that was a very big thing us waqt ke liye bhi. But tell me, what is the best memory that you carry from that season even today, if any?
I think, you know, Bhavna, the best memory ever could be lifting that trophy at the end of the season. क्योंकि जब आप वो 105 दिन, मैं वहाँ पर 104 दिन थी, तो 104 दिन जो आप निकल, you know, जी कर आप गुजरते हो. First of all, being a finalist only is a huge deal because it's all audience voting. आप अपने टैलेंट के बलबूते पे आगे नहीं जा रहे हो, बल्कि आपको बाहर कितना प्यार दिया जा रहा है उसके बलबूते पे आप आगे जा रहे हो. So for me to just be standing there on that stage as the finalist was a huge high. It was a big deal for me. And then I saw Tanuja ji sitting there. You know, जब हम बाहर आए, तो for the first time in the entire season, I saw somebody from, you know, Tanisha's family, because I don't think she received a letter or anything like that. And we all used to be very, you know, sad about that we all got some messages or not, you know, during the season. But she kind of didn't get, for whatever reasons. And we always used to be like, nahi, you know, sab theek hoga, Tanisha, and it'll all be fine. But to see Tanuja ji sitting right there, the legend, you know, sitting right there in front of us, when that, you know, that stage kind of revolved around and I saw her, I was like, oh my god, if the legend Tanuja ji is sitting there, that means maybe, just maybe, I'm not winning this, right? Because वो आपके दिमाग में 50,000 ख्याल आते रहते हैं उस वक्त. And I saw my mom and my family sitting there, and all I could think was, okay, I'm here, I'm in the present, and I'm just going to believe that I'm going to win. मैंने और कुछ doubt नहीं रखा अपने दिमाग में, and I kept praying, and I had that little parchi of a prayer in my hand, in my right hand. And I was like, no, I'm going to win. And I was just too happy to hear the crowd saying, God. And that all that was happening for the first time with me, you know, because as a model before that, or as an actor, you don't get that kind of cheering happening for you. And there I was, and when he took my name and I just stood there, I know it has become quite an iconic expression whenever that video gets played, that I don't know what I felt numb. I couldn't hear. I felt like everything was going in slow motion. So when he said Gauahar Khan, it took me, जब वो confetti उड़ी ना, उस वक्त I realized that, okay, it is my name, and then I just lost it. But lifting that trophy was like the best moment of those 105 years.
And I can only imagine also because, you know, I think that was one of the most, I think unitedly as a country also everyone was very happy because everyone was rooting for the fact that Gauahar should win, she deserves to win, right? But you know, tab जो seasons होते थे, I personally believe it was much more real and authentic than today, because I feel today people are much more prepared because they've seen so many seasons. Do you also feel the change since 7 season के बाद जितने भी seasons हुए हैं, what are the changes that you have seen per se inside the house as well?
I think the one major change that I see, I wouldn't say कि prepared है या नहीं है. I think the one major change that I see is I don't see people fearing Bigg Boss anymore. एक वो डर, एक वो प्यार, एक वो adulation, एक वो oh my god Bigg Boss ने ये बोला है तो मतलब वो पत्थर की लकीर है. वो एक चीज I find it missing amongst the rest of the seasons because लड़ाइयाँ भी हो गई, मारपीट भी हो गई, गालियाँ तो मतलब इतनी ज्यादा हो रही हैं हर सीजन में. But to each their own. I'm nobody to go ahead and say ये गलत है, सही है, whatever. But if you ask me what's missing, I feel like that love of Bigg Boss and his order in the show is missing. I feel like that. मतलब उसके बाद के सीजन्स में I felt like वो एक चीज मुझे ऐसा लगता था यार बिग बॉस बोल रहे हैं, आप मत करो. Like मैं जब देखते वक्त मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि how can you get away with मारपीट? Because I feel like कुछ अभी 2-3 सीजन पहले तक तो अब तक मारपीट भी ऐसे हो गया है कि तुमने भी मारा तो इक्वल हो गया. That's the thing, that is what is happening.
I think जो आप मारपीट की आपने बात की, लास्ट सीजन तो वो मतलब अबंडेंस में था, is what I feel like. मारपीट became a normal thing in the last season. It was like, and I believe you even tweeted about it as far as
मैं बहुत कोशिश करती हूँ कि ज्यादा कमेंट्स ना मारूं because हर चीज ही न्यूज बन जाती है. हर मेरा ट्वीट को एक हेडलाइन बना के आप लोग भी छाप लेते हो, ऐसे नहीं कि आप लोग भी नहीं छापते.
I was about to say हम भी करते हैं.
Exactly. मतलब my tweet becomes like the headline of something, all news portals. But of course, fair enough, क्योंकि I've been a past winner or I'm quite opinionated about it. I give it to the media for that, as long as they're not twisting my tweets. लेकिन I feel हर सीजन में ना मैं बहुत कोशिश करती हूँ कि ना बोलूं, और मैं तभी बोलती हूँ कि जब सचमुच मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि हाँ अब बोलना चाहिए. क्योंकि मुझे शो से इतना प्यार है, इतना ज्यादा प्यार है कि मुझे ऐसा लगता है आई टेक इट वेरी पर्सनल. मुझे लगता है यार ये बिग बॉस मेरे दिल के करीब है, आई शुड बी सेइंग. जब मुझे ज्यादा इफेक्ट होता है यूजुअली मैं कोशिश करती हूँ कि ना बोलूं. इसीलिए मैं स्पेसिफिकली सीजन्स के बारे में नहीं बोलना चाहूंगी भावना कि पिछले सीजन या उससे पहले. I'm just talking on a general blanket opinion. Because you said कि what is missing, I feel like that was one missing. लेकिन I don't want to really comment on one particular season. Yeah.
Tell me something. We have always seen during the entire seasons कि Salman Khan has been the highlight, and people usually try and not get into any sort of argument with him or even put their points across sometimes, because वो एक होता है उनका. But हमने आपके season में देखा था कि you stood your ground, come what may, and I think that is one of the reasons why even Salman respects you a lot today.
It's a two-part answer. One is that जब आप सच होते हो, जब आप कोई चीज सच्चाई से बोलते हो, तो आपको किसी भी चीज का डर नहीं है. I don't feel like, first of all, he is the best host that Bigg Boss can ever have. So he is a guide, he is a friend, he is, when he has to, डांट लगाना वो डांट भी लगाते हैं, जब उन्हें प्यार करना है वो प्यार भी करते हैं. लेकिन अगर कुछ टॉपिकल है, मतलब एक टॉपिक के बारे में बात हो रही है और मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि हाँ कोई चीज का एक पहलू शायद नहीं बोला जा रहा है या नहीं देखा जा रहा है, और अगर मुझे पता है कि मैं उस मामले में अपने तरफ से सच बोल रही हूँ, तो मैं निडर होके बात कर सकती हूँ. उसका दूसरा पार्ट ये है कि हर चीज का एक तरीका होता है. आप जब अपना एक पॉइंट रख रहे हैं, बहुत फर्क पड़ता है कि सामने वाले से आप किस तरीके से बात कर रहे हैं. भले ही आप झगड़े में भी हो या आप अपना प्यार से भी बात कर रहे हैं या अपने दोस्तों से भी बात कर रहे हैं. So I feel एक तरीका हर चीज में important होता है, and that's the reason I can put my point across, because I know I'm not going to offend anybody by what I'm saying because of how I'm saying it. अभी अगर वो सामने वाले को कुछ ज्यादा ही ऑफेंसिव ले लेना है तो वो उनकी मर्जी है, लेकिन I don't think Salman Khan is of that nature where
No, and I think he respects you a lot also from what
he also knows me, because I mean even before Bigg Boss I have known him and he's a superstar in every right. He also knows कि I am not doing, otherwise there have been so many seasons where उन्होंने लोगों को पलट के सुना दिया है या फिर कई बार तो घर से भी बाहर कर दिया है, but I think he knows कि I respect him a lot. I have immense love for him, and in competition I was only putting my point across because I was in competition. So I think he appreciates that, and I appreciate the fact that he also knew about why I was putting my point across.
You know, Bigg Boss में ये कहते हैं कि friendships भी बनती है, and of course there are so many fights which happen, but is there any one contestant or contestants in particular whom you are friends with even today?
I'm friends with Andy. I think Andy and I जब season शुरू हुआ था तब भी दोस्त थे, फिर बीच में of course competition है तो वो हमारे opinions अलग हो गए थे. I had my biggest fight with Andy also. But eventually जब हम बाहर आए, I think Andy and I have always kept in touch. Kamya and I are all, I mean not in touch, but we have a mutual respect and love for each other. Kushal I am in touch with. Every now and then we're always like, you know, हाल चाल पूछ लेते हैं एक दूसरे का. And that's about it. No one really other than that in my season.
Would you want to change anything about that journey or about that season if today given a chance, Gauahar? Anything at all? If you could reverse?
I wouldn't reverse a second out of Bigg Boss. I wouldn't reverse. मतलब मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि कौन से मेरे इतने अच्छे कर्म थे कि मैं season 7 का हिस्सा बनी. Because season 7 was extremely unique. I think the casting, the kind of competition, everybody was really strong. Everybody was there to win. I don't think ऐसा एक कोई भी season है जहाँ पर सबको जीतना था. Other than I think one guy in my season, everyone was there to win. Everybody was there to win. He, you know, Rajat ji जो बीमार पड़ गए थे eventually, I think he wanted to get out. But other than that, पूरे season में, I think I'm proud of the fact that इतना tough competition था मेरे season में, because they were all so good, all so good, and I have won that season. So I feel very humbled, blessed कि मैं इस season का हिस्सा थी जहाँ पर सभी इतने अच्छे थे. बहुत अच्छा competition था season 7.
You know, tell me something. The people we have spoken to with regards to Bigg Boss and everything, most of them have always said and have always maintained that their favorite contestant has been Gauahar Khan. You know, yet we do remember that during the season, there were of course people who would say कि आप fair नहीं हो, and वो होता ही है, कोई भी leadership role में आता है तो criticism एक तरीके से आता ही है. Have you seen that opinion change over the time? How do you feel when people say that, you know, आज भी अगर आपको एक fair संचालक के तौर पे लोग याद रखते हैं?
You know, it is my biggest achievement. I can't, मैं आपको कोई शब्द ऐसे नहीं है जिससे मैं explain कर पाऊंगी कि Bigg Boss ने मुझे जिंदगी में क्या दिया है. I mean, पैसा तो सभी कमा लेते हैं, सभी मुझसे कितने बड़े-बड़े superstars हैं country के, मतलब abroad देखने जाओ तो उससे भी बड़े superstars होंगे. सोशल मीडिया देखने जाओ तो आपसे कई मिलियन ज्यादा फॉलोअर्स किसी और के होंगे. So I am never in a rat race of any kind. मुझे किसी और से बेहतर नहीं बनना, मुझे अपने आप को बेहतर करना है. Bigg Boss gave me that. Bigg Boss gave me the kind of love. I think love across the universe, I would say. No matter where I went, no matter which part of the country जहाँ से हम जिससे interact कर पाते हैं. I think एक बहुत कम लोग होंगे जिनको you know, जिनका ये opinion होगा कि I didn't do well in my season. Everybody, whether they were in favor of me or not in favor of me, they knew कि it was somebody to watch out for. और उसके लिए मुझे इतना प्यार मिलता है. मतलब मुझे राकेश रोशन जी की वाइफ ने कहा था कि जब हम बिग बॉस देख रहे थे, on day 1 we knew that you will win, and I felt so good about that. Like today, I was talking to a psychiatrist and he says, the day I spoke to you, I knew that you would be in the top 5. And, those kind of things just stay with you. And the love I get, the प्यार I get, छोटी छोटी बातों लोग याद रखते हैं कि आप ना वो नमाज भी पढ़ते थे, हमने देखा था कि आप इतने हेक्टिक उसमें नमाज भी पढ़ते थे. And then they'll be like, आप ना, I heard a very nice thing that day. Somebody tweeted saying that she was the only one who जिसने सबको alike खाना खिलाया. मतलब whether competition or not in competition, she forgot about her enemies when she was feeding people, which was such a beautiful thing that I felt like, हाँ यार ऐसे मैंने शायद ऐसी हूँ. So the kind of love I have gotten, of course, over the seasons when जब आप किसी और के फेवरेट के अगेंस्ट बोलते हैं या किसी और के फेवरेट के बारे में कुछ पिन पॉइंट करते हैं, तो जो आपको गालियां और जो आपको ट्रोल किया जाता है, they forget that maybe they have supported me also in my season, but that's a part of life, because not everyone's going to agree with your opinion. The fact that they kind of give me a blanket love, which is more than enough.
But I think one of the biggest highlight for the season was also the fact आपकी जो तनीषा के साथ लड़ाई हुई थी. I think no one will ever forget that. But tell me something. Are you still in touch with her? Was it the little bit of fight, whatever happened, was it left there and there? उसके बाद
we never really fought. We were competitors. So of course in competition she didn't like me. I probably didn't like her. ऐसा it was all during the show. But there have been times जब मैं बाहर आई हूँ and हमने एक दूसरे को देखा है, हमने एक दूसरे को हाय भी बोला है. And I have to tell you this. Can I just tell you this, Bhavna? Her mom is such a legend. I have to tell you this little incident. It shows the kind of human being she is, Tanuja ji. मैं एक film function पे थी and I was, I think, एक रो उनके सामने या ऐसे कुछ था, तो मुझे नहीं पता था कि तनुजा जी मेरे बिल्कुल पीछे बैठी थी and they were trying to leave early. वो लोग थोड़े जल्दी जा रहे थे, I think.
Okay.
So I believe Tanisha and Tanuja ji were walking out from in front of my row, and I didn't see Tanisha. I didn't see Tanisha walking, but I saw Tanuja ji walking, and she passed me. And जैसे मैं ऐसे उठने ही वाली थी मैम को हेलो बोलने के लिए, the legend that she is, she actually turned around because she had seen me. She turned around. And by the time I reached her, she had already reached me. And I said, hello, ma'am, how are you? She was like, how are you, beta? And she gave me such a warm greeting. Now, here's my thing. She is Tanuja ji, okay? Probably her daughter and I didn't get along on the competition. But what a legend that she didn't regard that. She turned around and, just said hello to me, because I remember finale ke din, I had gone up to her and introduced myself and, said, it's such a pleasure to meet you and your daughter's doing whatever I had said. But that is the, that is the sign of a legend and a great human being. So I will never forget Tanuja ji for her kindness and the way she has brought up Tanisha also. Tanisha was a very headstrong girl and I give it to her for that. She was great competition. Of course, she didn't like me much on the show, which was very evident. But outside, I think we've always exchanged hi, hello, and, cordial. I've sometimes tweeted about, when she's looked nice and she has said thank you or whatever it is. It is just like a cordial banter of sorts, but not really in touch with anybody.
Okay, so before parting ways, I have to ask you this. If you were a genie, if you were a Bigg Boss genie, who are the 3 people you would want to put inside the house, irrespective?
I think Himesh Reshamya ji would be a great candidate because he's been a judge on a show that I was hosting. He's such a amazing personality, full of life. Of course, he does. You've seen on musical shows when he judges, he brings up a very different element than any other judge.
Yeah.
So I think he has a very interesting personality, and he will make a great Bigg Boss contestant. I love his spirit. I love the way he is. So yeah, I think Himesh Reshamya. Then I would say Hardcore, because she was on a show with me called Jhalak Dikhla Ja, and she was in competition with me, and I know that she's very strong and she doesn't have filter
her
to
words,
what
हाँ.
she's saying. Because she's all hard. वो जो बोलते हैं वो ऐसे ही मुंह पे बोल देते हैं, and मेरे और उनके तो मतलब झलक में काफी सारे clashes हुए थे. But she's a fun personality. She's again great musician. Like, she's an artist, so I think she'll bring about a lot of color, and उनका style भी बहुत unique है. So I think Hardcore would be great on the show. Another person I would definitely put on Bigg Boss would be Avesh Darbar. He is, I think, one of the funniest human beings I have ever met. He is superly talented, and he's extremely entertaining. But I also know that he will charge a lot of money. So if anybody is listening, he needs to be on the show. Avesh will definitely make a great contestant.